Some of the greatest scientific breakthroughs in history didn't come from careful planning or decades of work. They came from accidents, mistakes, even clumsiness. Welcome to the Science Hall of Fame, where today we're counting down the top 5 accidental geniuses, the scientists whose discoveries reshaped the world, even though they weren't looking for them. And trust me, by the end, you'll realize sometimes the best discoveries happen when you're not looking at all.
Number 5. Percy Spencer and the microwave oven, 1945.
Our countdown in the Science Hall of Fame begins not in a laboratory full of chemicals, but in front of a giant radar machine. Percy Spencer, a self-taught engineer who left school in the 5th grade, worked at Raytheon, building radar systems during World War II. One day, while standing in front of an active radar magnetron, Spencer noticed something strange. The chocolate bar in his pocket had melted into a gooey mess. Most people would have cursed and bought a new pair of pants. But Spencer's curiosity kicked in. If radar waves could melt chocolate, what else could they do? He began experimenting, placing popcorn kernels near the magnetron. They popped. Then he tried an egg. It exploded in the face of his colleague. Within months, Spencer and Raytheon had developed the world's first microwave oven. At first, it was massive, nearly 6 feet tall, weighing 750 pounds, and costing the equivalent of $50,000 today. Hardly something you'd put in your kitchen. But over time, the technology shrank, became affordable, and changed how we eat forever. From reheating leftovers to popcorn nights to ready-made meals, the humble microwave is in almost every home today. And it all started because a chocolate bar melted in the wrong place at the right time.
Number 4.
Charles Goodyear and vulcanized rubber, 1839. Next in our Science Hall of Fame countdown is a man obsessed with rubber. In the early 1800s, natural rubber was all the rage. Flexible, waterproof, useful. But it had one big flaw. It melted into sticky goo in the heat and cracked in the cold. Charles Goodyear, an American inventor, became obsessed with fixing this problem. Unfortunately, he had no money, no formal education, and even spent time in debtor's prison. Still, he experimented relentlessly, mixing rubber with all sorts of chemicals. Then one day in 1839, pure accident struck. Goodyear spilled a mixture of rubber and sulfur onto a hot stove. Instead of melting, the rubber hardened but stayed flexible. Goodyear had discovered vulcanization, the process of treating rubber with heat and sulfur to make it durable and weather-resistant. This single mistake revolutionized rubber. Suddenly tires, waterproof boots, hoses, seals, and countless industrial products became possible. The entire automobile industry, for example, would have been impossible without vulcanized rubber. Sadly, Goodyear himself never profited. He died in debt, never seeing how his accidental discovery changed the world. But today, his name lives on, most famously with Goodyear tires, a company named in his honor.
Number 3.
Wilhelm Röntgen and X-rays, 1895. At number 3 in the Science Hall of Fame, we find ourselves in a German physics lab in 1895. Wilhelm Röntgen was studying cathode rays, beams of electrons inside vacuum tubes. Pretty standard physics for the time. But one evening, he noticed something strange. When his tube was covered with black cardboard, a nearby fluorescent screen started to glow. That made no sense. The tube was covered. Somehow, invisible rays were passing through the cardboard and hitting the screen. Intrigued, Röntgen began experimenting further. He discovered these new rays could pass through wood, paper, even his own hand. He placed his wife's hand in front of a photographic plate, and the resulting image showed something the world had never seen before: the bones inside her hand. Röntgen had accidentally discovered X-rays, a tool that would revolutionize medicine, industry, and security. For the first time in history, Doctors could see inside the human body without cutting it open. Broken bones, swallowed objects, and later tumors and infections could be diagnosed in minutes. Röntgen won the very first Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901, and while X-rays have since expanded into CT scans, MRIs, and airport security scanners, it all began with a mysterious glow in a dark lab.
Number 2. Henri Becquerel and radioactivity, 1896. Number 2 on the Science Hall of Fame accidental discoveries list comes from another accident just a year later. Henri Becquerel, a French physicist, was studying fluorescent minerals to see if they could store sunlight and then emit X-rays. He wrapped a uranium salt crystal in black paper and placed it on a photographic plate, planning to leave it in the sunlight to charge it up. But, as fate would have it, the sky turned cloudy for days. Becquerel put the plate in a drawer and forgot about it. When he finally developed the photographic plate, expecting a faint image, he was shocked. Despite no sunlight, the uranium crystal had left a strong imprint. This meant the mineral was emitting powerful, invisible rays all by itself, without any external energy source. Becquerel had accidentally discovered radioactivity. This discovery, later expanded by Marie and Pierre Curie, transformed science. It revealed the hidden power inside atoms, leading to nuclear energy, medical treatments for cancer, and yes, nuclear weapons. It's a perfect example of how a cloudy day changed the course of human history. Number 1. Alexander Fleming and penicillin, 1928. And finally, topping our Science Hall of Fame list of accidental geniuses, Alexander Fleming and the discovery of penicillin. In 1928, Fleming, a Scottish bacteriologist, returned from vacation to find something strange in his messy lab. One of his Petri dishes of bacteria had been contaminated by mold. But instead of throwing it away, he looked closer. Around the mold, the bacteria had died off, leaving a clear circle. Fleming realized the mold, Penicillium notatum, was releasing a substance that killed bacteria. This was the birth of antibiotics. Before penicillin, even small cuts or infections could be deadly. Surgery was extremely risky. Diseases like pneumonia, syphilis, and scarlet fever often killed millions. But with antibiotics, medicine changed forever. By World War II, mass-produced penicillin was saving countless soldiers from infected wounds. Historians estimate that antibiotics have saved hundreds of millions of lives. It's hard to imagine modern medicine without them. From C-sections to organ transplants to chemotherapy, none would be possible without antibiotics. And to think it all started because a scientist didn't clean his lab properly after vacation.
So there you have it. 5 geniuses who stumbled into history's greatest discoveries. A melted chocolate bar gave us the microwave. A spilled mixture gave us modern tires. A glowing screen revealed X-rays. A cloudy sky revealed radioactivity. And a messy Petri dish gave us antibiotics. Accidents, mistakes, and chance. But what made these scientists geniuses wasn't the accident itself. It was their ability to notice, to ask questions, and to follow curiosity where others might have thrown it away. Which of these accidents do you think changed the world the most? Let us know in the comments. This has been the Science Hall of Fame. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the next big discovery might come from the tiniest mistake.